Grievous and lamentable persecution of the Christians by the Saracens at Cordova in Spain, about A.D. 850. About A.D. 850, the Saracens, who were adherents to the Mohammedan religion, invaded various islands of the Mediterranean Sea, and also the kingdom of Spain, in which they penetrated so far that their king had his court in the city of Cordova. In the meantime, in order to treat the inhabitants of said country kindly as it were, and thus draw them gradually over to the Mohammedan religion, the Christians were allowed to remain on condition that they would not gainsay, revile, or refute their false prophet Mohammed and his laws. Also, that they should no longer go into their churches, but pay their taxes and live quietly under their jurisdiction. The Christians, thus limited, and obeying their conscience by calling evil evil and good good, were easily apprehended by the Saracens and accused of capital crime. But, what is most to be deplored, these accusations proceeded sometimes from apostate so-called Christians, yea, from such as bore the name of bishops, apparently political bishops, or such as were designated ordinaries by the Roman Church, who, loving the favor of the Saracens more than the favor of God, declared that these who were put to death by them because they obeyed their conscience were no martyrs and could not be recognized as such, and what is yet more, they maintained this in a public council. The persecutors can easily be judged. Greatly encouraged by this, lamentably persecuted, martyred, and put to death many innocent Christians. O deadly piercings of Antichrist, through the instrumentality of his bishops! It is true, no severe tortures were inflicted upon the Christians who were martyred in this persecution, but for the most part they were simply beheaded. However, after their death their bodies were shamefully treated. First they were suspended for a time on gallows, then burned, and their ashes strewed in rivers, or they were left unburied, to be torn to pieces by dogs and birds. It is stated that this persecution commenced long before A.D. 850, but that at this time it was at the height of its fury, for which reason, it seems, the ancient writers have ascribed it to this year. However, this persecution is here fixed 1 year later, by one writer, namely A.D. 851. What has been said of this persecution is to be further explained by the remarks made in the first note. In the meantime, we will investigate what martyrs mentioned by name suffered during said persecution for the testimony of Jesus Christ and the confession of the Holy Gospel.